All right, I just started to record this class. The students will come back this one. All right. Okay, you're coming back. All right.
Here we are again.
All right, you're coming back. Great, great. Thank you, guys. All right. Okay. All right. So I guess everyone is coming back. All right, great. So how was the discussion? Was good? All right. It was great, 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 great. Okay. So what is the story about? Please share the story with your team. Okay, please go ahead. Anyone can start as a group discussions, whole class. Please, anyone start. What is the story about? All right. Jack, go ahead.
I guess I'll go because Jack went silent. What I got from the paper is that a hypothesis was brought up that said that the farther away a company or a business is away from a patent cliff, the more CVC activities they do, but the closer they are, the more they focus on external R&D activities, because I felt like it was safer financially to go for that.
Exactly. Not safe.
And then
yeah, there are some logics behind this. We're gonna talk about that. Yeah, and then go ahead, please.
then the ending, like the solution was that showed, yes, this is true, but then there was like some perfect numbers, sort of, that there were some variables that were unknown, maybe, is what I kind of got, that would need to be further explained, but it seemed like it was the right hypothesis to be true, that, yeah, this is the, which makes sense in the business world. The more time you have, the more risk you will take, the less time you have, you go the safer option.
Okay, exactly. I'm not sure it's a safer, but we can talk about the logic behind this. All right, great. Okay, so Johnson, you're great. Okay, good summary. Then, based on the hypothesis, okay, we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. Okay, anyone else you can add up or any comments about the story? Any team want to add up or any comments? All right. This is a very simple paper. Very simple paper. Okay. So it's a very clear that we have independent variables and dependent variables. Okay. So actually, Jensen actually talked about that. Okay. So we want to look at the paper a little bit more in detail before we going forward. Okay. So the paper is about CVC activities. Okay. How CVC activities, corporate venture capital, is working as a real option. Okay. There are multiple financing sources for startups. Okay. But CVC, let's think about the CVC, right? Corporations. Okay. And this is just one of finances. But these corporations, think about that. They provide capital and complementary assets for startups provide capital gains and technological benefits. So corporations actually approach startups to gain some technological benefits. Okay? So internalize external technologies. Okay? But it's a very risky process. Okay? Very expensive. Think about that. Purchasing technology, internalization of technology. It's very, very expensive. Very, very expensive. So corporations cannot make that decision just one time, all right? Because if they don't have enough information, what are they gonna do? So they use real option approaches. The corporations to invest in startups, they use real option approach. That means at the first stage, they make CVC activities. Just simply make CVC activities. That means make a small total investment in startups, like a 1 million, 5 millions. This is a very, very small investment. Okay. Then in the second stage, from the first stage, they collect more information about technology, the startups. And based on this information, the second stage, they make real decisions. They internalize this technology. They buy this technology using some strategies, acquisitions or license or some joint venture, something like that. Or they just can disregard these investment opportunities. So these are real option approaches for CVC activities. First stage and second stage. So far, so good. Okay, this is a visualization of real option approach. So initiations, corporations can do CVC, and CVC provides a second choice option opportunities. They first do CVC, and if they do CVC at the first stage, and they do the second CVC, or they do R&D, they do acquisitions and licensing, in the second stage. But think about other strategy, R&D alliances, acquisitions, and licensing. This is a one-time decision making, just a single time decision making. Think about the acquisitions. You buy, you acquire the company, then done. What is the second stage? There's no second stage. You just pay the money and buy the company. Done. Transaction is done. Licensing. You make a licensing contract. Done. There's no second stage. R&D alliances. You make a contract for R&D alliances and done. No second stage. But CVC, only CVC, because this is just small equity investment. There is second stage to go. All right. This is the beauty of CVC activities. Okay. So only when do CVC activities you do the second chances. Okay. So CVC, think about that. Okay. When you use this CVC, compare with this one-time decision makings. Probably you do CVC when you have enough time, right? Because it's the second stage. If you are really, really hurry to make decisions, use this technology or not, then probably you don't have any luxury to use CVC. You just go buy it or license it or R&D license. Okay. There is some urgency. There is an urgency in the situations. Probably you do these things, this strategy, rather than CVC. Yeah, Make sense? Yeah. And the exercise. Okay, Jensen, go ahead.
I just had the question I had is would CVC stage 1 be like a free trial sort of, except you are investing some, but like, because I know with free trials you're kind of testing a product out, so it would be like the free trial of like vesting, even though it's not free?
It's not free because you made a small toe investment. This investment process of preferential link to the external technology or startup.
I know it's not free, but I'm saying it would be like it's like a paid for trial. Like you're like, okay, once the 30 days ends, do I want to go for the full thing or do I want to back out?
Yes. So
okay.
CVC, the equity investment, small equity investment can be understood in that way.
Okay.
To build up the preferential link to external technology, right? That is distinguished from doing nothing, all right? That is distinguished, okay? So this is the conceptual map of the using CVC activities as real options, okay? And so patent cliffs, all right? Think about that, patent cliffs. So it's not good, right? So patent is expired. Okay, my patent is expired, and my revenue down. Okay, then I lost the market. Okay. So if this patent cliff is approaching, so what I'm gonna do? I should do something, right? I should do something as a manager, as a business leader. Okay, then patent cliff approaches. Okay, and patent cliff is very, very close, very, very close, then what I'm going to do? Yeah? You should develop other technologies if the patent cliff is approaching. Then when you do develop a new technology, okay, patent cliff is very close, very close. And what are you going to do? Okay? Among this choice set, patent cliff is very close, then my revenue will drastically decrease very, very soon. Then you don't have any luxury to use the real option approach, CVC. Okay, you are going to do R&D, acquisitions, or licensing, because if you decided, pay, you can use this technology immediately. Okay? But if the patent cliff approaching farther away, all right, then I still have some time to use it. Okay, then I'm going to use CVC because I have a luxury, the time. All right, then I make the first CVC activities, then collect more information and make better decisions in the second stage. All right? This is mechanism. Why patent cliffs is far away, corporations use CVC activities. Patent cliff is very close, then corporations will use these strategies. Okay? In the second stage too, all right, patent cliff is very close, then you should do something immediately. Okay? And this strategy can import the outside technology immediately, so corporation will focus on this. Okay? But patent cliff is far away, then corporations do not need to make one-time decisions, very expensive decisions. Okay? That's why they use CVC activities. Okay? All right, this is the basic mechanism. Okay? So based on these mechanisms, I have two hypotheses. Okay? Exactly, there's a summary of what we've talked about. Okay? Why corporate investors that face patent cliffs further, they do corporate venture capital activities. Right? It's close, and they do R&D alliance, license, or acquisition deals. The second stage too. Yeah. In the second stage too, corporate investors that face patent cliffs further, they do CVC activities, and close, and they do this types of strategy. All right, this is the story part. Very simple. So the key factor here is urgency. If you are urgent to make decisions, then you can use this strategy. Okay? But if you have some enough time to defer your decisions, then you do CBC activities. Okay? So far so good? Any question, comment? All right, can I go? All right, so based on this story, okay, I test these hypotheses, all right, and biopharmaceutical industry and 58, okay, global biopharmaceutical corporations. And depend variable is CBC ratio. That means the ratio that corporations choose CBC rather than other strategies. Okay? So if this ratio is high, then corporations actually did CBC a lot. Okay? Independent variable, patent expirations. So independent variable should be how far a patent cliff is coming. Okay, how far? Okay, so patent expirations. Then I included exclusivity expirations. Exclusivity is a little different concept from the patents. Okay, it's a legal concept, but nobody actually investigate exclusivity. So I didn't know, actually nobody know, okay? I didn't know actually patent and exclusivity have the common properties or common influences on the fund behaviors. Okay? I was not sure. Okay? Nobody knew that. So I just, for experiments, so I just included exclusivity expirations in my independent variables because the data was available. So to test this, okay, CBC ratio, look at this. CBC ratio is low and high and high. Okay, what's this? Patent expiration T through T2. That means number of patents, a patent expired in T year and T 1 year, T plus 2 year, T 2 year. That means T is this year, T1 is the next year, T2 is the following year, okay? 2 years. So CBC ratio is low when T1, T2. That means patent expired in this year, the next year, the following year. Very close, then CBC ratio is low. So patent expiration is close, then CBC, corporations do less CBC. Okay, it's good. It's consistent with my expectations. And T3, T4, T5 CBC ratio increased, and very far 6, 7, 8, T6, 7, 8. So the patent expiration is in 6, 7, 8 years later, then CBC increase. Okay, many corporations do CBC activities. This is how we read this. Okay, so far so good. All right, then this is a regressions. So look at this CBC ratio, same thing. We talked about how to read this table. So dependent variable is CBC ratio. All right. If this CBC ratio is high, then many corporations do CBC. Okay. Low, many corporations do less CBC. So T1, T2, yeah, their regression coefficients are negative and significant. Right? That means patent expiration is very close, then CBC ratio low, negative. Okay. Closer, and less. Closer, less. Okay, negative relationships. And T3, 4, 5 increased, okay, but still negative. And far away, okay, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Patent expiration is far. Then CBC ratio positive and significant. Oh, so this is exactly consistent with what I expected in my hypothesis. So CBC patent expiration is far away, then corporation do more CBC, and close, then corporation do less CBC. This is I just blocked this grouped. I just grouped these variables, okay, and something like that. So T1, T2 are included, is grouped in this variable. T1, T2. Okay? Then negative and significant. T3, 4, and 3, 4, 5, and no significant. The 6, 7, 8. Okay, these things. Okay? Just grouped. Then positive and significant. Oh, my hypothesis is supported. Okay? And this is just like a second stage. The second stage. All right. So given the previous CBC activities, okay, how this CBC after post CBC activities, okay, what corporations do, exactly same thing. Very similar, patterns. So patent clip, okay, very close, less CBC, and far away and more CBC. Okay, so this is what I'm finding. So these results support my hypothesis. Okay? And some tries based on different econometric things, but the different result, but the results, different approaches, different techniques, econometric techniques, but same results. Okay, and so all right. So implications. First of all right, this study suggests that corporate investors should benefit define its strategic agenda as clearly as possible to appropriately select a proper type of technology acquisition strategy. So think about that. All right, CBC activities and other strategies. Okay, they're all different. They're all different, and benefits and disadvantages. Okay, pros and cons. So you need to choose between these. So to operate, think about that international business. It's a very complicated business. You need to choose between, so to internalize, to acquire this technology, I do CBC, I do R&D alliances or acquisitions licenses. It's a very big decisions. So to understand and to make decisions efficiently, effectively, you need to do what? You need to understand your strategic agendas, what you are actually doing very clearly. Then you can make a good decisions. You will practice this in the simulations, all right? In the international setting. Okay? International setting, global manufacturing company, all right? Global manufacturing company. Multiple markets, international markets. Then you should make a lot of decisions, many decisions. Then it's not easy to have a clear strategic agenda in this situation because very complicated situations. But in the simulations, you will practice how to define your issues, how to find the alternatives to make decisions. Okay? And secondly, CBC activities should not be perceived as an independent strategy. Yeah, CBC is a real option. Think about that. Real option means you need to have a second stage, okay, to internalize. So CBC activities is involved with other types of strategy to be followed. Okay? So you can do the first stage, you can do CBC activities, CBC investment, and in the second stage, you can do R&D, alliances, or acquisitions, or licensing. So all of these types of strategies are actually interconnected. Finally, this study provides systematic evidence that patent expiration determine when and which strategy should be utilized to search and internalize the necessary technology. The reason I brought up this paper in this class is I just want to emphasize the importance of technology in the international setting, okay? And the global corporations. These days, especially these days, technology is almost everything, right? In many industries. Very traditional manufacturing industries, probably technology has some limited roles, but in the production, the technology is still very important. Okay? But in some industries, technology is everything. All right, IT and biotechnology. Think about that. Okay, just technology. Huh? Just technology. All other factors are just you can buy it. You can buy it. Okay? If you have money, no problem. But technology is always it's a competitive. Okay? So in the international setting, we have many external factors, like political issues, cultural issues, and ecological issues, economic issues, and something like that. But technology issues are very important these days. Okay? That's why I brought up this paper. This is pretty much about this paper. Okay, so very simple paper, but it has good implications. Okay, in the global setting business. Okay, so let's move. Discuss this paper in the framework of two fundamental concepts: efficiency and effectiveness. Okay, how to CBC activities and real option approaches. Okay, these activities can be applied in this efficiency and effectiveness, two fundamental concepts. Okay, so you did team discussions. So any team wanna go first? Your discussions. Team. Let me see. Team 3. Ansley, Carly, Kyle, Thomas, Gemma, Jesse. Did you have any discussion on this question, number 2? Anybody can start to discuss this one? Efficiency and effectiveness. Team 3, can you start? Okay. All right. Ansley has a problem. Anyone else in team 3 to talk about this issue? Okay, Ansley, you okay? All right, Ansley, you have something to talk about? Yeah, any other team members in Team 3 can talk about that. All right. Kyle, Thomas, Joe, Hill. Anyone else? All right. Any other team? Team 1 or Team 2? Anyone? All right, Jensen, go ahead.
Yeah. So for hang on, I gotta flip to the whole thing. Efficiency. I feel like the input, and you might disagree with this, would be time, and the output would be risk. The more time you have, the more risk you can take. Would be the and then for effectiveness, I felt like if that I understood from the article is that, or the journal, is that they could do the right thing if it was like financially like beneficial for them. Like we talked about COVID, like with COVID, all these people are just taking, like, they don't care how much risk it takes, so they're just announcing, like you said, the stock price went up, they just announced they have a project for it, and so they're willing to do. But if it's for something like, I don't know, the flu shot, where all companies make it every day, then they might be less likely to do the right thing, because they, at the end of the day, they are a business.
All right. So, in general sense, efficiency and effectiveness can be applied in the biopharmaceutical industry in the way. Okay. How about the paper? So we talked about that. Okay. CDC activities and real options. How these activities can be applied in the efficiency and effectiveness. Anyone?
I would say in general that it's effective because you're able to get the product, and it's not mandatory that you keep that product or that service or whatnot, and you have the opportunity to either back out of it or explore it further, rather than having to buy one and then keep using that. You have the option.
All right. Yes, that's right. CDC activities, usually it is linked to the effectiveness because it gives us more options. You go and bet, and has, it makes the probably better decisions. But the limitation is we don't have enough time, right? We don't have enough time. So sometimes we cannot use the CDC activities.
Sir.
Real options. Then in the urgent situations, we cannot use the CDC activities. That's why. But in terms of efficiency, think about the efficiency. All right, CDC activities not efficiency. Actually, you talked about the time can be an input, and CDC activities actually takes more time because it has two stages. But other strategy like acquisition and licensing is a very efficient in terms of timing. Okay? Just one-time decisions and buy, done. All right. But CDC activities is a second stage, third stage, fourth stage, something like that. So in terms of efficiency, okay, CDC activities is not good, but effectiveness it would be superior strategy. Okay. All right. That's my understanding from Jack's point. All right, great. Okay. Any other ideas with this efficiency and effectiveness things? Okay, all right. So the last comments I made will be the key point in this paper.
So I guess that real options are effective in the way that they can help determine whether a project will be successful, and otherwise you could reverse it and it's effective in that way. Like it helps you realize whether to take a project or not.
Yes, that's true. That's true. So actually, your comments is involved with some effectiveness things. It's consistent with the Jack's comments. Okay? So project, the success of project is involved with, the last point, effectiveness. But to reach that point, the destination, the last point, okay, there are many processes. There are many processes. So these processes probably can require some efficiency stuff and effectiveness stuff and together, right? Combined together. Okay? So think about that, our strategy. All right, we talked about some strategies, technology strategies, CVC, acquisition, R&D analysis, license. Okay? Some strategies focus on efficiency. Some strategies focus on effectiveness. In some situations, the paper, we talked about urgency, but in some situations, efficiency will be more emphasized, and in some situations, effectiveness will be more emphasized. That's the implication of this paper. That's the implications of the what we have talked about today. Good? Clear? All right, great. All right. Any other comments? You want to add up? Any other comment?
Dr. Kong, for the quiz, so it opens when you say it opens, or will it open right at the 12:30 on Thursday?
Oh, yes. Okay. Let me finish up this paper first, then we can talk about the next meeting. All right. Any question or comments about the paper? Today's topic. All right, good. Sounds good. All right. So we've done this paper, and for the next meeting, we're gonna start a new chapter. Okay, we're gonna start a new chapter. Okay, so you are supposed to read in advance the chapter 1. All right, chapter 1. So we are gonna little bit talk about the international setting. All right, and the differences between countries. Okay, so we are gonna talk about that in the chapter 1. So you are supposed to read chapter 1, and you are supposed to submit your chapter case. Okay. So your chapter case, we talk about that in the syllabus. Okay. And at the beginning of the class, you will have a chance to take one case. So we will start together. Okay. So I'm gonna be with you, so don't worry about that. Okay. So it is true or false questions. Okay? Then you will take this one case on Canvas too. All right, Canvas too. Okay. Then you can discuss these questions, and you can do some class activities, and we can do some, lectures, and it will be the last meeting, the next meeting. Okay. Okay. So, what is the question again, Jack?
You answered it. You're good.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, no problem. Okay. So, any question about the next meeting, chapter 1?
Is there any way you could put like the chapter on Canvas? I'm still waiting on to get my book, and I'm having trouble with Amazon.
Oh, I cannot do that actually.
Okay.
I don't have any materials on my hand, and also if I have something, I cannot do that.
Okay. Just was
Right.
wondering.
Any other question? Any other question? But Jensen, you send me an email. Okay, you send me an email. I will think it over a little bit more. Then, just send me an email to remind me what your problem is. Then I will think about that. Okay, if I can find something, then I will send you. Right? Okay. Any question before we go? Okay. No. All right. No. All right. Now you're free to go, and we will see on Thursday. We will see on Thursday. It was a good discussion, and thank you so much, everyone.
Have a good day, Dr. Kong.
All right. Thank you.